Hey everyone, so getting certified in Agile can feel like a huge challenge, right? But what if you had a clear path to get there? Well, today we're going to crack the code on the Infosys Global Agile certification. We're turning all that confusion into a simple step-by-step plan.
So you're on the hunt for a roadmap to get certified. And look, it's super tempting to search for shortcuts. Things like exam dumps that just give you old questions. But the source material is pretty clear. Real success comes from actually understanding the concepts, not just memorizing answers. And that's exactly what this is all about, giving you a guide that'll get you ready for the real deal.
All right, let's get started on that roadmap. Our very first stop? We need to understand the destination. What exactly is this certification, and what is it trying to measure? Okay, so at its core, this certification is basically a baseline check. It's not about tricky, obscure questions. It's all about making sure you have a solid grip on the fundamental Agile concepts, how a Scrum team really works, and the thinking that goes into those daily decisions. Essentially, it's about making sure you're fluent in the language of Agile.
So who's this really for? Well, it's designed for a pretty wide range of roles that are right at the heart of any project. If you're a developer, a tester, an analyst, or really any team member working in a sprint-based delivery model, this certification is a great way to validate your skills so you can contribute even more effectively.
Now that we know the what and the who, let's move on to the next stop. Section 2 gets into the what to study. Basically, this is your syllabus for success.
The source lays out a really clear 5-part study plan. You kick things off with the foundations, the core values, and the Agile mindset. From there, you build up to the actual methodology and the practical side of Scrum. Then you connect all of that to real software development and modern DevOps, which is all about making sure development and operations teams work together smoothly to get software out the door faster.
All right, knowing the content is definitely half the battle. But now let's talk about the practical side of things, the how, where, and when of actually sitting for the exam.
Here are the quick facts you need to know. You get one session and is 120 minutes long. And keep in mind, this isn't an exam you can take from home. You'll need to go to an authorized test center, so you'll want to plan for that ahead of time.
Now that time limit, 120 minutes, is a really big deal. The source makes a great point here. A lot of the Agile terms can look super similar when you're reading quickly, and that can easily cost you points. Your pacing is absolutely crucial, which means you have to practice under timed conditions.
And that brings us to our final, and honestly, most critical section, how to study smart. This is where we turn what you know into a passing score.
I love this quote from the source material because it really gets to the heart of the matter. The exam is going to test your understanding, not just your ability to memorize. Especially for those scenario-based questions, you have to get the why behind an Agile decision. Just knowing old answers won't cut it.
So, how do you get there? Well, the source recommends this really smart 4-step study cycle. First, you learn the concepts. Then, you immediately test that knowledge, ideally in a simulated exam environment. Now, here's the most important step. You have to review what you got wrong to find your weak spots. And finally, you make it all stick with quick daily practice.
Yeah, the whole idea is to stop just passively reading and start actively practicing under pressure. The source material, certificationexam.com, actually provides tools for this, like their online quiz simulator and mobile app. They're designed to help you do exactly that, mimic the real exam experience, and turn that knowledge into real confidence.
And really, that brings us to the big takeaway. This certification isn't just a certificate to hang on the wall. It's a powerful signal to employers that you get modern teamwork and delivery. It's a key step in building your career in an Agile world. So the only question left is, are you ready to build your Agile future?